Single dad helped a woman in the storm, not knowing she was the judge about to decide his fate. The storm rolled in without warning, swallowing the late afternoon sky in bruised clouds and sheets of icy rain. Mark Dalton gripped the steering wheel of his aging pickup truck, squinting through the thrashing wipers. Beside him, in a booster seat patched with duct tape, sat his 6-year-old daughter, Lily, humming softly to keep herself calm. She had always hated storms. "We're almost home," Mark said, though home was really a cramped basement apartment with flickering lights and a leaky ceiling. "Just a few more minutes, Lilypad." Ahead, a flash of lightning illuminated the road, along with a figure standing at the shoulder, soaked and struggling with a bent umbrella. Without thinking, Mark slowed. "Daddy," Lily asked, "why are we stopping? She needs help." Mark pulled over and rolled down his window. "Ma'am, are you okay?" The woman lowered the useless umbrella. Rain plastered her dark hair to her cheeks, and her coat hung heavy from the downpour. "My car died," she called back. "And I can't get a signal. I'm trying to get into town." "Hop in," Mark said. "We'll take you." The woman hesitated for a split second before nodding and climbing into the back seat. "Thank you," she said, catching her breath. "I've been standing there for nearly half an hour." "Storms can come quick around here," Mark said, pulling back onto the road. "I'm Mark, and this is Lily." "Hi," Lily chirped, offering a gummy strawberry candy she had been saving. "You look cold." The woman laughed softly, touched. "I'm Rachel, and thank you, sweetheart." Mark noticed her clothes, high quality, tailored, the kind he used to wear back when he had a steady job and his life looked different. Before the layoffs, before the custody hearings, before everything had begun to fall apart. "So where to?" he asked. "The courthouse annex, if it's not too far out of your way." Mark stiffened. The courthouse. The word alone sent a knot twisting into his stomach. "No problem," he said softly. The drive was slow. Power lines swung dangerously in the wind, and the streets turned into rivers of runoff. Still, Mark drove steadily, keeping his daughter calm with gentle conversation, occasionally glancing at Rachel in the rear-view mirror. "You're very good with her," Rachel said at one point. "She's my whole world," Mark replied. "Everything I do is for her." Rachel smiled, though something troubled flickered behind her eyes. "It's rare to see a father so involved," she said. "Most days in my line of work, I see the opposite." "What line of work is that?" Mark asked. Before Rachel could answer, a tree branch crashed onto the road ahead. Mark slammed the brakes. Lily gasped. "It's okay," he said, checking the distance. The branch was large, blocking the way forward. "I can move it," Mark said. "Stay in the car." He stepped out into the battering rain, hands numb instantly. He pushed, heaved, and strained until the branch rolled enough to allow passage. When he climbed back inside, drenched, Lily pulled a blanket over him. "You're silly, Daddy," she said. "You're all wet." Rachel stared at him with a complicated expression, part admiration, part something else. "You didn't have to do that," she murmured. "Guess I'm used to storms," Mark said with a tired grin. By the time they reached the courthouse annex, the storm had softened. Rachel gathered her things but paused before exiting. "Thank you," she said. "You didn't know me, but you helped anyway." "World's got enough trouble," Mark replied. "We should make it easier on each other when we can." Rachel smiled, touched again by the quiet sincerity in his voice. Then she hesitated. "Mark, do you have a hearing scheduled tomorrow morning?" His breath caught. "Yes," he said slowly. "Custody hearing. For Lily." He nodded, feeling exposed. "Her mother wants full custody. Says I can't provide a stable environment. And she has better lawyers." Rachel's posture shifted into something professional, measured, firm. "What's your case number?" Mark frowned. "Why?" Rachel gave a small, almost apologetic exhale. "Because I'm Judge Rachel Hardman. I'm presiding over that hearing." Silence filled the truck. Mark blinked, unsure whether to panic or pray. Judge, I didn't stop to help you because of." "I know," she said gently. "Believe me, I know." She stepped out, closed the door, and disappeared into the building. Mark drove home in stunned silence. The next morning, he and Lily sat in the cold hallway outside courtroom 3. Lily practiced deep breaths like he taught her. "Remember," Mark said, smoothing her hair, "no matter what happens, I love you more than anything." When their case was called, Mark stood beside his overworked public defender. His ex-wife, dressed sharply, sat with her attorney, who spoke with rehearsed confidence. Your Honor, her attorney began, my client seeks full custody due to the father's unstable employment, insufficient housing, and poor financial reliability. The child deserves a home with proper structure. They painted him as unreliable, irresponsible, incapable. Each word stung sharper than the last. Finally, Judge Hartman looked up from her notes. Mr. Dalton, she said, do you wish to respond? Mark swallowed. Yes, Your Honor. He stepped forward. I know I don't have much. I know my apartment isn't great, and my job isn't glamorous. But every day, I show up for my daughter. I pack her lunches. I get her to school on time. I help her read. I save every extra dollar for her clothes, her doctor visits, her birthdays. I love her more than anything on this earth. I'm trying, Your Honor. I'm trying every single day. Lily tugged his hand. Tell her about the storm, she whispered. Mark shook his head gently, not wanting to seem manipulative. But Judge Hartman lifted her gaze. Yesterday, she said, I was caught in that storm on the old mill road. Many cars passed. One stopped. Mark felt the room shift. I met a man who demonstrated patience, kindness, and courage. A man who put his daughter's comfort before his own. A man who helped a stranger without hesitation. His ex-wife's attorney shifted uncomfortably. Judge Hartman continued, stability is important, but so is character. So is compassion. So is presence. She turned a page deliberately. In the matter of custody of minor child, Lily Dalton, this court grants joint custody, with primary physical custody remaining with the father. Mark's knees nearly buckled. Lily squeezed his hand so tight her knuckles whitened. Judge Hartman added, Mr. Dalton, your dedication is evident. Continue providing for your daughter as you have. And if you need local resources or assistance programs, the court can connect you. Mark swallowed hard. Thank you, Your Honor, he managed, voice thick. As the session ended, Judge Hartman gave him a small, knowing nod, one that said she had judged more than his circumstances. She had judged his heart, and found it enough.